Hello, I'm Olatz, founding member and creative director of .coop. I'm passionate about understanding the cultural contexts and political forces that influence people to thus create stimulating narratives and exciting brands that help us imagine better futures. In this video I'll talk about the importance of narratives and the need to understand their foundations to use them in our best interest. Let's start. Why are narratives important? Language, whether verbal or visual, creates realities. People have evolved historically on the basis of telling stories. These stories have created places in the world. Somehow, some worldviews. They are so easy to transfer and we assimilate them so easily that they become a part of ourselves. They become beliefs. And this is even more powerful. One example that illustrates this is the work by Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. When the first submarine was created in an era without the internet, the story by Jules Verne played a crucial role when accepting this invention socially. It created a mental space in the possibilities that exploring the ocean brought along and how fascinating that could become. Jules Verne's works are a constant inspiration in this sense. He created stories without being embarrassed by the radical objection that this technology was not available at the time. His stories are inspiring. They create spaces in the brain. Jules Verne got desirable futures across to people. And he did so in such an exhilarating way that people could easily accept them. Star Trek is another example of how science fiction is a source of inspiration. It seems that the innovation strategy of Apple has been written since 1966. The revolutionary mobiles and iPads, together with wireless earphones, were born in the adventures of the United Federation of Planets of Star Trek. It not only opened cracks in our mind with the possibility of products, but also somehow sowed the seed of representation and diversity. Lieutenant Nyota Uhura was the first black female character represented on American TV. To analyze narratives nowadays, it is necessary to pay attention to the meme culture. The meme is a basic unit of our culture. As a unit that carries all the minimum necessary information of our culture and of our narratives. The things we learn through imitation, even by putting our own stamp on it, learning to make croquettes, imitating a TikTok dance generate digital memes. In the end, what we do is make common narratives our own, like scenes from The Simpsons, film scenes to create our own stories and narratives as if we were ventriloquists. This makes us talk about what's shared through our own stories. It is important nowadays to analyze and be critical about who is creating the stories of the future because that will greatly determine the capacity we have to imagine desirable futures. The increasing proliferation of apocalyptic discourses and dystopias can generate what philosophers Franco Berardi and Mark Fisher call the slow cancellation of the future. This set is about the idea that there's no alternative to the current system. That the present is the only possible destination. This despair generates a lot of mistrust and collective anxiety. There's a very necessary feeling of fighting nowadays. Finally, I want to add that innovations do not start only faced with a technological possibility. Scientific developments go at an overwhelming speed. There's ongoing research about genetic mutations or artificial intelligence. However, it's necessary and urgent to do work about mental spaces to create inspiring stories that make us design desirable futures. To reach those desires we might have to put aside practical considerations for the time that's necessary to be able to imagine those futures.